Thanks, Zoe. Well, the big news everyone is talking about this month is the temporary cessation on housing projects and the related housing study that the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation is currently conducting. Now, the MEDC has partnered up with a planning agency, and they're looking at what the current stock of housing is in the city, as well as what demand there is for further development. They're also looking at how these developments may affect public services like education and public safety before the city can begin to issue permits once more. So to tell me more about this and other projects that MEDC is doing, I'm joined by Marlborough Economic Development Corporation's Executive Director, Meredith Harris. Thanks for joining me, Meredith.
Thanks for having me, Laura.
All right, so just to be clear, this cessation is only temporary, and it's only going to be on for 6 months. And in the meantime, you're conducting this study to be better educated to how to proceed after the cessation ceases. So tell me more about this study.
So just to be clear as well, the cessation is only on special permit projects,
okay.
Meaning that if you have a project that's by right in any of the different zones in the city, it does not apply to you. But at this point, MEDC has consulted with a firm to do a study of the current housing stock that we have here, taking a look at what we could absorb in terms of demand for future years, and also where can we absorb those different types of demand. They're going to basically give us a vision or a roadmap of what the city can handle and how do we get there.
And what are the next steps then?
So at this point, there's a steering committee that's taking a look at some of the different things from RKG Associates, who is conducting the study, and we're also going to have 2 focus groups as well as a public hearing. We'd really urge any residents to come to the public hearing and weigh in on the subject and let us know what you think about the housing in the city.
And another project you've just been working on, and you've actually just received the study back, is the transportation study. We're looking at what needs there are for the city's residents and employees in terms of moving around the city. So what have you learned from the study?
So the transportation study was really interesting. Last summer, MEDC went out and, to our best ability, went into the companies and tried to find out what type of transportation needs do the employees, what are they looking for, and the employers and also the residents, what does everybody need? It was interesting because what came back from the study is, we thought we were going to need another shuttle bus, from the train stations in the area to get to the different corporations or get the employees out or the residents out during the day. But it wasn't a shuttle bus. They came back and told us that it's more amenity based. They would like to see some bike share programs within the city, and which would benefit the companies and the employees, but also the residents that would like to get out on a sunny, warm summer day and maybe take a bike that they don't have one, so they can come and rent a bike here downtown and get to some different areas in the city. We're also looking at zip car situations, stuff like that, where we could get people more on-demand service.
So what are the next steps for that? Are you moving forward with some of these proposals?
So we're taking a look at it. Right now it's very early stages. We just received the study, and we're very excited about that. I think it would be a great amenity here in the City of Marlborough to have those types of services, so we're looking at next steps to make that happen.
And speaking of amenities, you are also in the process of promoting the downtown area to potential brewers who may want to open a brew pub here. Based on the downtown rezoning a couple of years ago, brew pubs are now allowable by right in the city, in the downtown area. Tell me more about what you are doing, what steps you're taking to promote the downtown area to brewers.
So we want a brewery. We want a brew pub. Not only here in downtown, we're looking at every area of the city. We would love them to be downtown, but it's going to depend on the type of brewery, their specification, their requirements. But long story short, we want to talk to them. We want them here in the city. It would be a great amenity, again, for not only the employees that are coming in and out every day, but the residents who are here on a daily basis and on the weekends. And we're searching for one to come to the city and be a part of this community.
And you're very busy this month. You're also in the midst of organizing the next job fair here in the city. And we've talked a little bit about this before, but what are the updates on this job fair? Tell me more about it and what the goal is, essentially.
So the job fair, the planning is going really well. It's going to be on May 11th at the Courtyard Marriott from 4 to 7 p.m. This job fair, it makes it different from the fall job fair that we have each year, is it's more geared towards entry-level and mid-level positions. The feedback we got from the fall job fair was that the openings were great. There was a lot of opportunity, but there was an opportunity for some of those mid-level or entry-level positions.
And let's talk away from MEDC and talk about some of the other projects that are going on in the city. You were, in fact, involved in some ways with the Apex Center, which is now really full steam ahead. 95% of the retail spaces have already been leased out. and the project is really on track to be completed towards the end of this year. What does this say about the way real estate is done here in the city?
Well, I think it's, kudos to the administration, the city council, the urban affairs committee. Everyone's been working diligently for months to make sure that the project stays on track. And you can drive by Route 20, it's happening pretty quickly, lightning speed. And we're very thrilled to hear that they're 95% leased, and no doubt that they'll be 100% leased before they're ready to open.
And a couple other wins for the city. Just recently, the Leapfrog Group announced their ratings of hospitals in the state, and Marlborough Hospital was one of a few hospitals in the state that was rated with an A. What does this say about living here in the city and the amenities that the city does provide for its residents?
They're top notch, from the school system to the hospital to the city, officials. Everyone here in this community is top notch, and I think that just goes to show that, we're all working together to make sure that the community is just that.
Very well, thanks, Meredith. That's Meredith Harris, Executive Director of the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation. And to learn more about what the MEDC does and the projects it's involved with, you can always go on their website, marlboroughedc.com, and of course follow them on their social pages at Marlborough EDC. That's all from me for now. Back to you, Zoe.